Guys, I finished my breakfast. Now I'm sitting here, and I wasn't planning on doing this, and this might end up being the entire video. But we're gonna have a real honest little moment together. No makeup on. I'm still not ready for the day thing, but I just had this weighing so heavy on my heart and my mind, and I'm feeling a little emotional. I'm PMSing. I love being a girl. So a few weeks ago, I was really struggling with anxiety really badly, and it was making me question everything in my life. Everything, just for no reason, you know. I was questioning everything in my life is good right now, you know, and I was questioning every little thing. I'm like, this can't be right. Well, what about this? Like, what if this happens? Blah, 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 like all this stuff, whatever. I was able to move past that, thank goodness. I noticed that certain things were triggering it too, like me having like 2 cups of cold brew every day. That much caffeine was like just making me go crazy, which I always thought that sounded so silly, but that's a real thing. Having too much downtime when I cut myself off from work at the end of the day and not having something to do, that would just make me go nuts. I'm someone that I thrive when I feel like I'm being productive, you know. It's been really heavy on my mind this week after going through that and getting myself back into a good headspace. Is every morning I've been asking myself, what would the best version of myself do today? What would she do? What would she do? And I'm gonna cry. But last night I was laying in bed before I fell asleep, and a picture of me from 4 years ago popped up. It was like, you know, on this day 4 years ago on Instagram. I looked at her, and she's me, and I just started crying. I just wish that I could give her a hug. Like, I look at her and she just doesn't feel like me at all, you know? And felt like I was looking at a version of me that just doesn't exist anymore, and all I wanted to do was just like grab my face and kiss me on the cheek and just like give me a big hug and just give her a peek into where she is now, you know? And although like I've had some hard year, like living in Vegas, my first year here was really hard. Last year was a better year. This year, despite everything that's been going on in the world and in the country, I've had a really good growth year just within myself and my mind. And, you know, of course, I'm a human being. I still have ups and downs like anybody does, but I'm continuously growing, and that's the most important thing to me. All of that to say, when I just looked at that photo and I can remember the pain that I was feeling and what I was going through and how insecure I felt and I didn't feel good enough, you know, but I look at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I look so youthful and beautiful in this photo, and I had no idea how beautiful I am and like how sweet and like how good of a person I am. And I don't mean that in like a full of myself kind of way, but back there I was so hard on myself for no freaking reason. The problems that I was facing at the time weren't my fault. I'm like rambling. I have so many thoughts running through my head right now. Every morning this week I've been thinking to myself, okay, what would the best version of myself do today? And I've been doing that, and it has kept me so productive, and I've been getting so much stuff done, and I have felt more fulfilled because I've shifted my way of looking at things as like, oh, I don't want to do this. It's like, no, I have the privilege of being healthy and being able to go move my body today. There's people out there that are wishing they could do that, you know? I get to work from home. There's people that work so much that they don't even get to see their kids. Like, I am in such a beautiful position. And I think that all of us, sometimes we get caught up in just our everyday lives and what we're used to, and we don't really take the time to sit back and think about, okay, what are all the things that I do have? What do I have in this moment? What is special to me? Right now, I have a roof over my head. I have wonderful people in my life. I have my dog, Ellie, obviously. I have a good family. I'm healthy. I'm happy. And every single day I get to choose what I do. You know, like, that is such a blessing. And yeah, I encourage you guys to ask yourself today, what would the best version of myself do with this moment? What would I do with today? How would I go about it? You know, because when I think of the very best version of me personally, I think of someone that is hardworking but still enjoys her life and has a lot of fun. Someone who just loves people with all they have. Someone who forgives easily but still stands strong and, you know, her values and her boundaries and respects herself. You know, someone that just like wakes up every day just enjoying life's moments. And even if life gets hard or whatever, I allow myself to feel that emotion, but then just keep it moving, because problems are obstacles, you know? It's just guiding you in a different direction or teaching you a lesson, and that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, I've been really focusing on that this week, and it has helped me a lot. And of course, like, I'm not perfect. I'm perfect. Just kidding. You know, I still have growth to do, as does anyone. You want to grow for the rest of your life, you know? I don't want to be the shiniest diamond in the world tomorrow, or else it's like, what am I going to do for the rest of forever? I still want to be growing, and you know, there's just been so much on my mind, and I just feel like I'm going through like a really beautiful growth period right now, and I'm really proud of. And yeah, sorry it's hard for me to look in the camera when my mind is wandering a million miles per minute. I'm just like looking all over the place. Something else I think is really important too is to just like never give up on yourself. Like, what can you do to make yourself feel the most loved and encouraged and strong and all those positive things? You know, I think a lot of times, you know, without realizing it, rely on something else to make us feel better, or a person to make us feel good, you know, and you put your happiness in something or somewhere else or whatever. And it's like, no, you have this moment here right now. Find what makes you happy in this moment. You make yourself happy in this moment, because at the end of the day, if you're stripped from all your belongings or everyone in your life, as hard as that would be, you got to figure out how to be happy for you on your own, you know? And I never want to put my happiness in a person or a place or things or anything of that sort, because I don't want to rely on my happiness to come from somewhere else. When I'm happy on my own and my own happiness is overflowing in my cup, I'm able to share that with others and share that with the people that I care about. You know, when I'm feeling depleted because I don't have something yet, or this isn't here yet, or I don't know, some bullshit, you know, that doesn't matter, then I can't be my best self. And it's like, well, why am I relying on something else to make me happy when that's all within me? It's all within my mind and my heart. This is just turning into a talking video. You know what? No, I don't apologize for still being in my pajamas. This is real life. Here, I do have hair. Another thing I think is really important is forgiveness. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is not an easy one for me, and I have been trying so hard to forgive and understand that, you know what, I have high expectations of myself. I'm the only person that I have any sort of control over. Not that I'm ever trying to control another person, but you know, when someone lets me down or disappoints me or hurts me in some way, not forgiving them is only hurting me. All that is doing is harboring negative, yucky emotions in my own heart. That doesn't mean you have to say, I forgive you, it's all good, like, love you, come back in my life. No, that just is letting go of, you know, whatever that was, and just saying, hey, you know what? That person maybe had a lack of judgment, wasn't their best selves at the time, and that's okay. Hopefully they've grown from that, because I've grown from that experience, you know? That's something I'm really working on right now with, you know, things from like my childhood, things like that. I'm really trying so hard to forgive certain things that I thought that I had forgiven and moved on from, but I hadn't, you know? At the end of the day, it's like all I'm trying to do is grow into the best woman that I can be for not only myself, because I'm stuck with me for life, but my future children, my future husband. I think about that and I'm like, am I being the best version of myself? How am I growing into, you know, the best wife I could be, the best mother I can be? How am I growing into the best daughter, the best aunt, the best sister, you know, the best friend? I just want to be the very best version of myself in every area that I can be. I just want to be a walking vessel of just love and light and peace, and hopefully be able to spread that to all the people that matter the most to me, you know, and anyone that I come across. That's my goal. So that's where I'm at right now, having a morning chat. That's what I should call it, a morning chat-saroo. It felt good to just talk about that and get that off my chest. Sometimes for me, because I've been on camera for 7 years, sometimes just sitting down and talking to the camera and talking to you guys is a form of therapy for me. So thank you for being my therapy for the last 15 minutes. I hope you don't mind that we just had a little chatty video today instead of like a style fashion video. This was weighing so heavy on my heart when I was making breakfast. I was like, I just want to sit and talk to them about this. I just need to have a real conversation. So I love you guys so much. I just want to say thank you, and I love you, and it means the world to me that even 100 of you watch. So yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you very soon. Mwah.